An incubator full of chicks. Elevate my food and water so it doesn't get wood chips in.
These two are little girls.
Hey y'all, Amy here. Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. This morning I'm going to be taking you with me while we set up a brooder for an incubator full of chicks. Yes, if you are new here, I have had a past couple of videos issues with my incubator. I wasn't sure they were going to hatch. Honestly, there was one point where I thought they were all not alive because of the issues that I had. And so I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to show you what is hatched, how many, their cuteness. We're going to get the little brooder area set up for them. And also today we're going to be moving a few goats. If you've been here for a while, you know that I had a friend named Miriam. She lived right down the road and she had to leave her property that she lived on and has been looking for another piece of property to move her farm to and prepare that. And in the meantime, I've had a lot of her animals here. I've had her goats and some of her chickens and her cows. So it's been a little while and she's got her place. She has a brand new place and she has a new farm name. Her previous farm name was the Chicken Daddy Farm. I'm sure y'all have heard me mention that many times. Well, now it's 2 goat gals and a whole lot of chickens. So that's her new farm name, her new farm, new beginnings. And we moved all of her chickens that were here there yesterday. And we moved out here, all over there in that area was her panels and houses and hay racks and all kinds of stuff. We took 2 big loads to her new place yesterday. And now today we are going to be taking feed barrels and quail and guineas. We took cats yesterday. Georgie and Simon went to their new home with, well, their original owners, but a new home for them. And so we're going to be taking, let's see, hay, feed barrels, and some goats today. She's not completely set up for all the goats. Here in this field, I have her buck and her wether. They're gonna stay with my boys for a little while until she has a place ready for them. But some of her girls that she has room for are gonna get loaded up and we're gonna go. I still have my car hooked up to the cattle trailer here. We'll be loading that up in a minute. Brian's truck is right here. He's got a trailer for feed barrels and stuff. But before we do any of that, we're gonna do the chicks in the brooder. Let's go. Ta-da! Look at all the babies. Hi, pretty babies. Now, the first one hatched the day after they were supposed to hatch. So it was day 22 when they started hatching. We are now on day 24 and we still have ones hatching. I've never heard of that, but I guess it can happen because it's happening. So because the first one hatched, in a couple of hours, we're gonna be approaching the 48-hour mark. And that's, for me, the longest that I'm gonna leave a chicken here. Preferably 24 hours is what I would think. But I've had ones continuing to hatch. So I'm gonna go ahead. I know it's gonna affect the temperature, the humidity and things, but the few eggs that are hatching, still in the process of hatching, are almost all the way out. The other ones aren't even pipped, so I'm thinking that they were duds. And so we're gonna get the brooder set up and we're gonna pull the chicks out because it's time. Okay, so the tub has been in storage. I've had chicks for a little while. And so it got dusty and dirty. So what I do is I use one of these Rubbermaid containers and I put my chicks in this for the first little bit of their life. That's what I use as my little indoor brooder. I do not like to move the chicks outside where they'll get like drafts and things until they're about a week old. And obviously, if it's cold weather outside, I extend that time a lot longer. But we have not hit cold weather yet. Even though, yes, we're approaching the middle of November, but we're in Florida, so All right, this is ready. So I'm gonna put wood chips in here. Levi, you got it?
Yeah, I already did this one.
Thank you very much. You did good. These things are heavy.
Yeah,
Alright.
I see what you mean now.
Okay. So. We're going to just open a little bit. Put some samples in here. All right.
And he's got the chick water and the chick feeder here.
Okay. Try not to make a mess. There we go. I use these that are bigger. I don't like the finely chopped ones because you don't want the chicks to have little pieces that they're going to eat or try to eat. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is, there we go. What I'm gonna do first is I put down these wood chips, but what I'm gonna put on top is a puppy pad because they're gonna be brand new chicks. They're gonna be pecking at everything, and while they're learning, I'm just gonna set the puppy pad on top just for the first couple of hours, and then I'm gonna remove that, and then they'll just have the wood chips here. So Abby, would you get me the puppy pad, please? And I'm going to, I have my feeders and waterers and stuff that what I do is I put, they're gonna be sitting in here on top of the puppy pad, but just FYI, one of the things, little tip, when you put them in one with wood chips, when you get to that point, I like to set them on a brick because it lifts it up because chickens scratch and they'll fill their food and water with these wood chips. But if you elevate it a little bit, they won't be able to scratch it into their food and into their water. And so you don't have to worry about that. And I use a brick because they're tiny little chicks. And if you elevate it, they're not going to be able to reach it. So you don't want something just the size of this. What I do is I use a brick so that there's a higher surface next to it, kind of like a step, and they just sit on that, and then they can eat from that side. And then if you wanted to, you could put two bricks side by side with this on it so that the chicks could get around the whole thing, depending on the size of your brooder. But that's how I elevate my food and water so it doesn't get wood chips in it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if you're using a waterer and a feeder that you've had and you've used previously before, you want to make sure they're sanitized. I actually have a bucket of soapy bleach water here that I'm going to clean my stuff in, just because a little while back I had chickens that went through a sickness, and just in case there's any leftover germs anywhere, I don't want a chance infecting these tiny little babies with anything. So I'm going to be bleaching this and my feeder to make sure that everything the chicks have is completely sanitary. Okay, now that I have all this sanitized and clean, I'm going to fill their water, and I'm going to add a dash of apple cider vinegar to their water. Can one of y'all grab the chick feed for me? It's in the garage.
I can do it.
Okay. Just a dollop of apple cider vinegar. Like so.
Daddy's out here.
Okay. All right. When I first have my brand new chicks, I choose to use a medicated feed to start them off with. That's my personal opinion, or my personal choice, I should say, is to use medicated feed for the first little while, and then I switch to an unmedicated chick feed. over here in this corner is where I put this, the little brooder box. I have my heat lamp here, and I put this over the top just in case any dogs or cats come in here. They're usually the door's kept shut, but just in case, to be extra safe, there's something over the top for the chicks. All right, so they have their food, they have their water on the puppy pad with their heat lamp. The heat lamp is hanging here right now. You don't want it too low, you don't want it too high, and you don't want the entire box to be under the heat lamp. So this corner back over here, as you can see, there's no red light, so there's a spot where they can get away from the heat if they need to, because sometimes it can get too hot. And then they'll see. Take it. Carefully. Okay, don't drop it. Carefully, carefully.
There you go. I gotta put it in now. I will.
Carefully, carefully, carefully.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9.
All right, y'all, we've got 9 little babies in here. Let's see how they do. Sweet little things. My goodness. And so, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this door because they're right in the sunshine. So, you're still in the sunshine. Okay. So, over here in the incubator, there was a couple of eggs that have been partially hatched and they were dried. Like, the humidity level was way too high, way too low, and the membranes were stuck to the chicks and they were unable to get out. So I removed a little bit of it, tried to help as best I could, and then we had, once I released some of the membrane and a few pieces of shell came off, 2 of the chicks popped out. There's one here still has shell membrane stuff stuck to it because it's so dried onto it, but we'll see what happens there. And then there's another one back in there, 2 yellow ones, and then this one black one was also stuck in its egg. So there's that other one back there. So, and then the rest of the eggs are not even pipped at all. So when I was doing it, I was barely lifting this edge, trying to keep it as warm as possible in there. And then I added more water to it. So we'll see what happens. So our first hatch in the new incubator was not as bad as I thought it would be. Was not completely successful by any means, but we're learning. We're learning that if they're going to be in here, out here, even though it gets cooler at night, doesn't matter. Going to keep the air conditioner running at all times. Going to check this incubator frequently to make sure that for any reason the temperature doesn't mess up. But so far we have 9 healthy babies. 3 that might not make it, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. And yeah, so now we're gonna go load up some stuff, y'all, and move some goats. Okay, y'all, Brian's got feed barrels and hay loaded. All right, and we're about to load 4 goats, but we've got the quail in here now. Alright, we've got the first 4. Now these 2 are big girls and they're tied back here because these 2 are little girls and we don't want to be mean to the little girls. So we've got Peaches and Sister ready to go. The little ones. All right, we are on the road, headed to Miriam's new place. It is, I don't think I said this yet, it's about 40 to 45 minutes away from where I live. So we've got a little bit of a drive ahead of us. It. Welcome to your new home, goats. All right, y'all. We got those 4 goats dropped off, and the quail, and feed barrels and things. And so now there's only a few goats left at the house, and like 2 feed barrels, and that's it. So Miriam's farm is almost completely moved to her new farm. So the girls that are at my house, Miriam's going to be making some kidding stalls and things like that. I know it's bumpy, y'all. Hang on, I'm about to get on a harder road here. That was a dirt road. I'm going to pull out on a hard road. Miriam's going to be building some kidding stalls and things, and once those are ready, then the rest of her goats will go to her new property. And the boys, William and Jeffrey, are going to hang out with my boys for a while because there's really no reason why not. She doesn't need to rush and get any, buck pins made right now. There's plenty of room where my boys are, and they're all getting along wonderfully, by the way. So the first initial fussing and fighting that you may have seen in my last video, that was over within a couple of hours, and so they're all best buddies now. So no issues there. So they're gonna stay together and be buddies for a while. And yeah, so now we're going to, I dropped the kids off. I had the kids with me, but I dropped them off, and I just realized I didn't unload all of their stuff. I had more of Miriam's stuff in the back of my car, and I didn't get it out. That's okay. I will see her again. I'm gonna go pick up the kids. Miriam actually lives just a few minutes from my parents' house now. So, this is a really sharp curve. Let's take this carefully. So, I dropped the kids off on my way to Miriam's so that they could hang out there. And then we went and dropped everything off, and I'm going to pick them back up. And then we will be headed back to the house, and I'm going to show y'all the chicks one more time before we're done. I'm just driving back roads, so don't worry about it. I'm going to see, if any other ones have hatched, how the ones that were struggling are doing. And so we'll go do that next. Okay, we're back home. We're in the shed. I'm checking on the chicks here. I have the two ones that I helped hatch earlier, the yellow ones, they're up there doing fine. I'll show you them in a second. The other one that I had helped partially was still stuck in the shell because it had dried onto it. So I had to get it out, and I actually had to use some warm water to help release the membrane from the chick because it was just stuck. And then I saw there was another egg hatching, similar type situation, so I went ahead and used warm water to soften that and kind of help unattach it or whatever. And so far, all the ones down here in this are still alive. Let me show you them all real quick. Y'all look at that. It's a little naked neck. One of them's a little naked neck, and then the other one is just a little yellow one. They're both up and fine. They've still got a little bit of membrane stuff stuck to them. It's okay. That little black one down there, that one is what I just helped get out. We'll see how that one does. I don't know yet how it'll be. And then this other egg here in the front is the one that was struggling most recently, and all the rest of the eggs have no pips or anything. So, hi there, little ones. Hi, babies. Okay, now down here, all these ones are still alive and fine. As you can see, they're over here away from where I have the heat. So I'm going to lift the heat lamp just a little bit so that it's farther away from them, because I think it's a little too warm for them in here. They're already making a mess of this puppy pad. I'm just gonna grab one real quick and show you, because they're just so cute. Look at that little one. Look at that little face. He's so cute. My baby. They're little fluff balls. Alright, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us today while we did some stuff. Until next time, keep on the sunny side. Do you want to say keep on the sunny side?
Keep on the sunny side.